an idea. You see, I put some air holes in here. See, watch. Watch me put the air holes. Watch me. Let's see. Let's just put it there and watch me put in the air holes. See the can? I'm going to put in some air holes. See this? Oops. Put in some air holes. However, I got to thinking that the big stoves has only one air hole, right? And they have a cover. So if you put this in a patent, in a business, so if you take the cans and you make a hole and you make a flap, and it has a cover on the top, it's like a tent stove, a wood tent stove, a container. I just got the idea. I was thinking about the old stove at home, at the old house, because I grew up where there was no running water. We drew water from the well, and we had a wood stove, an old wood stove. It was like a big round cast iron stove, a big tall one, more like a barrel stove. Well, it was kind of oval in shape, but tall, very, very tall. I mean, it was like tall. Distance. I mean, it was huge. But wow, that was just my thought, you know, to build, to make tent stoves, camping stoves, you know, stoves that you can have in a tent. It's an idea. But anyway, no running water, a bullet bucket to draw, and a chain to draw the water from the well, and then an outhouse down below the house, down by the barn, by the shed, actually, where Grandpa kept all the stuff for the mule, all the harnesses and all that for old Granny. But it's out on Silverwood Road, all the way to the very end. It kind of forks off, kind of sort of like this, and it kind of, and like this and this. But you go this way instead of going that way, down Silverwood Road on Highway 265. But the house is the old house is still there. If you want to check it out, you know, kind of sightsee it or something like that, feel free to go there. But I mean, somebody else owns it now, but if you just tell them that you're going out there and, you know, to see where Tammy Royce grew up, Tammy Sue stuff will be thereof. I mean, be my guest. My old stomping grounds, and you got to see the mountain. It's beautiful. But you just keep on going around that bend, and okay, down Silverwood Road, then you go around this way, and yeah, you go around this way, and then there's a house here. As you go up this little hill, you go up the little hill, and there's Aunt Hazel's house. But on around, you go past her house, down that road, and on around, and then you go over the hill, you go down the hill, and then you go up up there, and you go to the very end. And the old house, I call it the old house. I call it Vanover Mountain. It's called Silverwood Road. In Fayetteville, Arkansas. Highway 265. More or less Cato Springs. But anyway, there's an Illinois bridge down there past Kinser's Heifer Farm. You got to turn right there at the mailboxes at Kinser's Heifer Farm. Jim Kinser's Heifer Farm. But I think Jim Kinser, I don't know if he's still alive or if he died. But anyway, I am the ancestor. I mean, yeah. I'm not the ancestor. But my ancestor is Jack Coy Vanover. He's my grandfather. And Margaret Ann Weatherby, and that is my grandmother, his wife. Margaret Ann Weatherby Vanover. That's her name, Margaret Ann Weatherby Vanover. Jack Coy Vanover is my grandfather. He was Navy. We had a lot of fights, my grandfather and me. Kind of every time I build a fire, it brings back old memories of me watching Grandpa build a fire early of a morning. He put in a big green stick overnight to keep the heat. Well, not really keep the heat, but to have coals in the morning. Hot coals in the morning to start a fire with. He cut wood and we carry and kindling. I could be carrying in the kindling and stuff like that. I mean, it's just really wild. I have to say, really wild. But anyway, this is Tammy Sue Stufflebeam at birth, Royce by identification card only. Vanover Mountain, my stomping grounds. Visit it.